Hey everyone! So for my second video, I'm sorry it took me so long to get back here to talk to you guys again. I've had a lot of stuff going on. Um, Life, man, it happens. So anyway, I want to talk about something that is very, very near and dear to me, and that is Christianity and sexuality, I guess, is what you could call this. I was born and raised in church. I've been in church my whole life. I actually play on the praise team, like very active in church, and I always have been. So there's so many things like in social media and in the news. Like for example, like Westboro Baptist Church. Okay, gays are going to hell, like whatever. And there's a lot of Christians that really feel that way. There's a lot of Christians that really feel like, God hates gay people. God hates not just gay people, the entire gay community. Gay, lesbian, transgender, bisexual, asexual, pansexual, but, the list goes on and on and on. People take the parts of the Bible that they can use to condemn people and judge people, and they'll just use them as it relates to fit their agenda of hate, I guess is how you could say that. If you go back, a little backstory here. Whenever I first started really accepting and dealing with my sexuality, I spent a good amount of time, a few months, praying, studying, reading the Bible. My aunt had a Bible that was, I forget what they call it, something like a linear Bible, where they have the original Hebrew and Greek language and literal translation along with it. And so I used that and read what the Bible actually said before all of the translations came about. And then I also had a book called, I think it was called What the Bible Actually Says About Homosexuality, and it came from a theological viewpoint. Again, it was the literal translation and the literal, what these words actually meant, and kind of left interpretation up to you as far as what you thought that meant. It wasn't biased based on what whoever was writing it thought. So in the process of me reading that, studying the Bible, praying and everything, the way that I approached it was that if by praying and studying, I felt like God was telling me that being attracted to girls was wrong, I was at a point where I was willing to just kind of ignore it or not act on it, because my spirituality to me is more important than my sexuality. If I have to choose one or the other, my spirituality absolutely wins. But the more that I prayed and the more that I studied and the more that I sought truth for myself, the more okay with the fact that I like girls I became. And the more that I kept feeling like God was just like, it's all right, it's okay, over and over again, that's what I heard. And I had to it took me a while to come to terms with that, to be at peace about that being the answer for me, just because I had grown up hearing such the opposite, not necessarily from my parents, but from my preachers and family members, other people in the church, whatever. So whenever I finally was just like, okay, this is doable. I can maintain my spirituality. I can maintain my relationship with God and still allow myself to fall in love or find love or find somebody to spend my life with, all of that. So embracing that and accepting that those two things could coexist absolutely was kind of a huge deal for me. And it took me a while to really be okay with that and be like, okay. So, let's see, it has been about 5 years now, almost 5 years since I came out. Pretty sure the vast majority of people that I go to church with know that I'm gay. I was in a relationship for 4.5 years with somebody. She didn't always go to church with me, but I have a lot of people from church on my Facebook and other social medias, and then they'd see me with her, and people that just know me, they just know, like, it's pretty obvious. Yeah, so and I find myself, because most of my friends that are gay are not only not Christians, but they are like so against Christians, because all their experiences for the most part are negative with Christians. Are Christians telling them that, you're a sodomite, calling them whatever other names, slang names, mean names, or saying like, yeah, we'll enjoy hell because God hates fags, and I hate that. I hate that. It makes me so angry sometimes that the people who are supposed to have unconditional love for everyone, regardless of anything that defines them, are the very people who turn people away so much, The Bible tells us, man, the Bible says in there to go out into the hedges. I don't remember exactly what it says. It's in Luke. I could find it. It says go out into the hedges and reach those, basically, that society casts out. It also commands us to love each other. It commands us to be an example of Christ on earth, okay? Like, I'm pretty sure that Jesus didn't go around going, you're going to hell because you're doing this. You're going to hell because you do this, Let him without sin cast the first stone. Judge not, lest ye be judged. All of these things that Christians just seem to ignore. And also the things that Christians think, like Sodom and Gomorrah, okay? This is a huge one. That Christians argue that Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed because of homosexuality. Absolutely not true. And if you go back and read it, there's even a verse that says Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed because of this. And it was basically in hospitality. I don't remember, but I don't remember exactly what it says. But basically, that's what it was. It was inhospitality, unwelcomeness. They didn't... It wasn't because of homosexuality, and I don't understand. I kind of understand where people get that, but if they'd actually read it, they'd know that that's not the case at all. So, being a gay Christian is kind of... It's weird, because you have your Christian family. I have all the people that I go to church with. Like I said, the large majority of them know that I'm gay. And then you have your friends that are gay that are like, oh, Christians, All of my friends know that I'm a Christian. All of my friends know that I'm active in church. They all know I go to church and everything. But what sets it apart is that I'm not going to say I never get mad at people that say gays are going to hell, gays are hated by God, God hates gay, I'm not going to say that never makes me mad, but for the most part, it's just like, I'm not going to turn around and throw all this hate back at them, because it's just like putting gasoline on fire and expecting it to go out. Like, it's never going to work. The only way we're ever going to extinguish all this hate is with love, And that's what I try to do. I try to love people unconditionally. I try to love them where they are, who they are, as they are, whatever they are, because it's not my job as a Christian. It's not my job to go out and say, you need to fix this, and you need to fix this, and you need to fix this if you want to go to heaven. No, it's my job to love people, because I found that by loving people and loving people as they are and not trying to change people, I found that makes people curious what makes me be that way. And, aside from the fact that I've always been really compassionate and empathetic and everything, above all that, a large reason why I am that way is because I really believe that we're supposed to love like Jesus loved. And I really believe that Jesus loved everybody and accepted everybody. And so I try to do the same thing. I try to be that example of God's love so that people will wonder. And then past that, if they want to know, I would be more than happy to share with them. If they want to know about my spirituality, that's fine. But again, it's not my job to tell them about it and tell them all the things that they need to fix in their life in order to be right, because the only way I think that we should be is like show them that love and then let God deal with them on things they need to change, because it's not our place to tell people what they're doing that's right and wrong. I know my mom kind of struggles with that, because my mom and I don't see eye to eye on the whole topic of being gay and being a Christian and how that works. But she's finally kind of come to a point where she's just like, like, if there's something wrong, sis, like, I'm just praying for you. I pray. She's always prayed for me, even before I came out. Like, it's not a new thing. But she just prays for me, and she trusts that if there's something in my life I need to change, that God's going to deal with me on that. And absolutely, whether or not she agrees with it, like, she trusts that I'm, doing the right thing, which I am. So, it's not impossible. It's not impossible to have a relationship with God and be gay, and it's not impossible to be part of both of those, like, communities or whatever. Because I don't think that either one of them have to really define the kind of person you are. I think you define the person that you are. And then beyond that, it's up to you. It's between you and God, you and your higher power, whatever you believe in. And so, I guess I know so many people think that they can't be spiritual or have a relationship with God because they're gay. Like, they think they have to be one or the other, and that's absolutely not true. I don't believe that for a second. Mainly because I'm gay and I'm a Christian, So, like, I know it's possible. But, it's kind of a touchy subject, and it's one that I get very, very passionate about, just because the lies and the hate that people spread just make me so mad sometimes. So, yeah, but, like, that's all I want to say about that. I could talk about it for another half hour, but if you guys have any comments or questions or anything, please leave them below, or you can email me withoutrestraint82@gmail.com. I'll get back to you. Leave me some video responses or whatever. Let me know what you guys think about all this, man.